That was funky. Okay. Hello.
Music.
Welcome to celebrating 35 years of Tetris.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tetris. Boom, Tetris for Jeff. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Tetris, and...
Wait, are we talking about Tetris? I don't think so.
Are we talking about a falling block game?
Yeah. Okay.
That's the
cool.
one.
Good to know.
That's the one.
Good to know.
Good talk. So, let's get started with the panelists. Give a quick introduction of each one of you and all that fun stuff.
Big Cheese.
Yeah, our
Oh,
special
man.
guest. Hear it up for our special guest, Big
Yeah, we
Cheese.
gotta.
Hello.
Hey.
As our surprise guest.
Thank you so much for coming, dude.
Good afternoon, you beautiful individuals. My name is Big Cheese KIT, and I play a whole lot of Tetris.
Whole lot of
A whole lot of Tetris.
A whole lot.
Literally. I can spell with the Tetris blocks, so a whole lot of Tetris. But how you guys doing today? Oh, no. More energy. How are you doing today?
I was about to say this side is way louder than that
I
side.
know, we gotta get
Yeah.
competition going.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Your turn.
Your turn. Your turn.
Hi, my name is Brenden Groom.
Yeah!
I don't deserve that. That was louder than Big Cheese. Are you kidding me? Big Cheese!
Big Cheese! Hey!
And I host the Pass Control podcast. We're local nerds in Salem, Massachusetts, here for PAX East. I play a lot of Tetris, but not nearly as enough as Big Cheese, I'm sure.
You might be right. Big cheese.
I'm Chris Souza. I'm the founder of Pixelver PR, and I work with beautiful indies around the industry.
Woo!
Yeah.
Souza! Hey!
Souza.
I can't even have that with my name because I sound like an old British person. Rupert.
Rupert.
My name is Leanna Rupert. I am the editor-in-chief of Prima Games because we're bringing it back. Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah. Okay. Come on. Yeah. I'm also the editorial director of Greenlit Content and co-owner of Don'tBeTheGamers.com.
Liana! Hey!
All right, I am David Giltonen. I am the host and producer of another retro gaming podcast, or RCast for short. I've been around for almost 4 years with that, but yeah, I've been in the industry for about 8 years now. So yeah, just glad to be here and talk some Tetris.
Hey, David!
Love it.
David! Artcast. Hi, my name is Morgan Shaver. I also work with Liana at Greenlit Content. I'm the editor-in-chief of Indie Obscura. I write for All Gamers under HyperX. I write for a couple other sites like Tetris. So, boom, Tetris.
And also Prima.
And
She has been on Prima before.
I do all the writing. I have very random videos for you guys that I've just edited in because Tetris. Yeah. One of my favorite versions of Tetris is Game Boy Tetris. Hey, there it goes. So that leads into the question, what is your guys' favorite version of Tetris? And this is going to be challenging. What's your favorite version?
I want to hear what Big Cheese has to say.
Big cheese!
Big Cheese, what you got to say? What's your favorite version?
I'm like very invested in the cheese.
My most favorite version of Tetris will be the original. You know, we're the same age, so it's like we have a bond.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
It's magical.
the first one will always be Tetris, and then second would be Tetris Effect because of the music that blends in with the game.
So good.
If you guys have never played Tetris Effect, oh my goodness. It's like the music is beautiful, it's soothing. While you're playing the game, it's like relaxing. So like say you have like a bad day at work, it's like, play Tetris Effect.
Yeah.
Okay? It will calm you down.
It's cheap
third-
therapy.
It's true.
It is. It is
very true.
therapy.
It is. But third, gotta be Tetris 99. I like competition.
No.
Yes.
So-
And you're very
I
good
get
at Tetris
stressed
99.
You know,
Mm, very good.
I gotta show the world that I'm not the best in the world, but I'm the best at home. Nobody can beat me.
I mean,
You are the biggest.
I mean, do you know like how many first place finishes they have in Tetris 99?
Over 700 so far.
Ooh.
And
All right.
that's just having fun. Don't make me get serious.
It was just good serious.
Serious.
I don't want
Cereal.
it.
Super serious.
Don't go
Super
there, bro.
cereal.
I don't want it.
Extra.
Don't do it.
it's 1v98. You think you're gonna take me on 1v1?
Oh,
we got some
I wish we
challenges
had like
going down.
setups. I would love to see it. I would love to see that.
Yes.
It's gonna happen.
No, but it's
It's
fun.
gotta
Like,
happen.
it's definitely fun. Like, check it out, guys. Like, you think like all the battle royale games out there are the best in the world? Tetris 99 puts all that to hush. I'm telling you that right now.
It's true. Tetris
not wrong.
99 is
That's
the
legit.
king of battle royale.
I don't know. I think for me, like, it has to be Tetris Effect. Like, I'm like you. I grew up on Tetris, and my original dinky Game Boy, which I still have. And when I was active duty, I did a couple back-to-back deployments, and that was like my sanity, because it's so simple, but simple with purpose, and that's a great way to like focus in. But the close second is Tetris Effect, like that. Same reason, it just being zeroed in, and that's your own focus. Especially if you play it in VR, it's like Martian land. It's insane. It's so peaceful. But at the same time, you still have an objective. It's not like getting lost, even though you kind of feel a little bit lost. Like the music just kind of puts me to sleep. I'm just like, I'm so relaxed
very
right
zen.
now, man. Like,
100%.
it's cool.
And the crazy thing about Tetris Effect, whatever you was thinking about at work, it will take it away because it will put the speed on you as well. So like, wait, whoa, hey, whoa, and then slow it back down. So like, okay, we're good.
Sure.
For me, the one I played the most is Tetris Splash, which I know is a weird pick. But like back when, especially now as I own an indie PR agency, obviously like the birth of Xbox Live Arcade was very special. I remember like one of the first 3 launch titles I got for my Xbox 360 was Hextech HD. And even though it's the most played, my favorite would have to be the Game Boy version because it kind of brought me to where I am now with I watched Twitch streams, I watched competitive gameplay. And like some of my earliest gaming memories are watching my mother play Tetris on Game Boy. She's way better than I am. She would put it like on 9 speed, 9 at the start at the top, and she still has the copy today. That's like a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I love it.
It's awesome. So I guess like for me, I mean, because like the first Tetris I owned was Tetris DX on the Game Boy Color, and I was just all about that version. I remember like the music just being like especially good in that too. Like it was, I think from what I remember anyway, it was kind of like a slight remix a little bit of the original tracks on the original Game Boy. And I certainly played the original Game Boy version a lot as well over my friend's house because I didn't own the original Game Boy myself. But Liana, yeah, exactly, yeah. But Liana's totally right though as far as like that thing being like hardy too. Those things are built like tanks.
They really are.
Yeah, Game Boy still be rocking today.
They're
so.
the Nokia of gaming.
Totally. But yeah, aside from that too, Puyo Puyo Tetris has always been one I really like too. Actually, just that mix of the two puzzle genre, the two puzzle franchises really together is such a good fit, and it's just amazing to see how that plays out. And I love the characters in it too, so kind of sucker for that.
No Hatris?
No hat. Just because I'm wearing a hat. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, no.
For me, I mean, you got to shout out the original Tetris, just because
100%.
I grew up on it. It was there. But my favorite Tetris game, for sure, is probably Tetris DS. I'm a big Nintendo fan, big Nintendo junkie. There was a lot of cool game modes in there, and the aesthetic of the game is I mean, you get some of that with Tetris 99 with the themes and stuff like that, but all of the other things going on in the game were really pleasing. But the real reason why Tetris DS like really hits home for me is my mom didn't play a lot of games, but there were certain games that she did play, and Tetris and Dr. Mario were 2 of those games that she would always play. And when I got Tetris DS, my DS was always missing, and it was my mom had it, and we would like fight for high scores and stuff, and it was, I've been gaming my whole life. I'm very passionate about this stuff, and for my mom to take that type of interest, like with that game is always special to me for that reason.
I feel like we have to like do a special shout out to the Battle Gaiden one that was Japan only.
Totally.
Because that really set the stage, I think, for Tetris 99 too, of like that really competitive. And it did mix that Puyo too. Like it was that first like introduction of combining those, and also a special shout out to Morgan's suit because like I keep seeing you in my peripheral and I'm like, you look so awesome.
She had it tailored for this.
Yeah.
I did. I had.
She's
it.
dedicated.
I am
Dedicated.
very dedicated. I very
What's
much
yours?
love-
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
That is a very difficult question because I want to say all of them, but
They're all my children.
it's like I want to shout out. I like Nest Tetris. I think that's really cool. I like the whole classic Tetris World Championship scene. I played a lot of Tetris Friends. back in the day. That was really fun. I met a lot of cool people there. But I would say lately my favorite version is Tetris 99 because I can't stop playing. It's a problem. Someone needs to intervene because I can't stop. I can't stop, guys. So Tetris 99, I guess, is the one that's my most played at this point in the shortest span of time. Like 500 hours in the past. It's not good.
Now,
One true battle royale to rule all battle royales.
now, Morgan, I know I asked you this on my podcast.
Yes.
But do you know how many first place finishes you have in 99?
I've lost count.
She said the same thing, too.
Dang.
She said shots fired, Big Cheese.
I have 0.
Yes,
I am not good at battle royale anything.
I've had 3 near misses. Like, I got second, like, 3 times, and, like, it just falls apart at that point.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy.
They're all against me.
It's wrong.
Love it.
It's just Morgan's always on, so she's always just knocking you out right away.
That's what it
yeah.
is, like kicking your
It's
games.
true.
I never
I would
sleep,
not doubt it
ever.
at some point that we get each
Okay,
other.
It's always
And I got
Tetris time.
creamed.
So, I do have an honorable mention. This is on Super Nintendo, Tetris Attack.
Yay!
Hey.
That was a good one.
So,
That's
Yeah.
great.
and it was a game that was out there that was similar to it, and it said beat the developer and you get stickers. He didn't survive.
He didn't survive.
I got the stickers in my book bag.
Did you get all of the stickers?
I got all the
All
stickers.
right.
I like it.
I got more random videos for you guys. This is one of my favorites. This is Tetris 99, and this is a player named Dorami who can T-spin like nobody's fucking business.
Jesus.
This is real time. This is not sped up. This is real time.
I remember the first time you showed that to me, I thought it was.
You thought it was sped up.
Sped
That's
up,
not sped
yeah.
up. That is real time.
By the time it was over, I was still trying to process what I was seeing.
Yeah, like everybody has their own different strategy for approaching Tetris. And I think it's really cool because you have some people who are like super into the T-spins and that's like their thing. Many people would just go straight forward with like line clears, combos. So that leads to my next question of what is your go-to strategy for Tetris? Is it just win at all costs? What do you guys prefer?
Win at all costs is
Win at
pretty
all
good.
costs.
But
That's the main thing to do is win at all costs. Getting in the game and winning. Right? Winning is everything.
Yes.
But sometimes taking losses will humble you. So my strategy, I start off with stacking up all the way to the top because people love to attack the person that's all the way at the top, like, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. They don't see that 2-wide, that 3-wide setup. So as soon as they attack me, like if you guys never seen Tetris 99, they have it to where everything aims at you when you're at the top. So you see lines coming from everywhere. And when it aims at you, you can counterattack by setting it to attack mode. It's beautiful.
It is.
Because they're like, well, how did this happen? How did it KO so fast? Well, that was a 12-piece combo, that came with some biscuits and gravy. So, but that is just my go-to if I really want to be reckless. But if I want to be safe, I keep it as low as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of just described how I play as reckless. Like I do like a lot of speed running in my free time or like watching speed runs. So when I play Tetris, like I go pretty much as fast as I can, but my skill level is not really up to speed with my actual speed. So I often make a lot of mistakes. But that's my kind of idea is I just go as fast as I can and try to clear as many lines as
So
possible.
you gotta go fast?
yeah, I gotta go.
gotta
back.
go
Basically
fast.
Sonic of Tetris, yeah.
I feel like you already know this about me, but like I don't ever have a plan for anything. I wing everything in life, and that includes Tetris. And that's probably why I have 0 wins. But I'm okay with it because like it's really fun. But yeah, it goes. I kind of go like if Commander Shepard played Tetris, I would be the renegade of Tetris.
Somehow Mass Effect gets in.
Always,
Always.
always,
It's always Mass
always
Effect,
Mass
for sure.
Effect, always. But yeah, I don't think I ever had really strategy. I'm like, ooh,
Whatever works.
that looks cool.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
That works.
Yeah.
I mean, like, because I know for me, I can't really do like the T-spins. Like, my mind just doesn't really process how the T-spins really work while playing the game, like at that speed for sure. So usually, because of the speed of Tetris 99, especially when you get to like later levels, like if you're in like the top 20 or whatever, which I've gotten like a number of times before, but but again, no wins, But it's I usually try to keep it like where like the middle is clear. Like, is usually I'll just like try to get like long piece and like either sides or whatever. But because it's going so fast,
Yeah.
you never know what can drop at you at any given moment. You may as well keep like whatever that line clear area you need for the middle, so you can kind of get that in quick. So
That makes sense.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
For me, and when I load up Tetris 99, if I see Big Cheese in the lobby, I back out. That's my strategy.
That's a strategy.
Good Saturday.
Like, no.
But no, I usually just build up one of the sides. I usually pick the right side and just like hoard line blocks and get ready to just do combos, and that's usually what I do. I have a few wins, not a lot.
Okay.
But
You got me beat. Then.
Yeah, I was about to say, you've already creamed us by saying that.
I can't do T-spins, and I'm very sad about that fact. But so I just keep it as traditional as possible. I do a little bit of what you do, where I'll stack to the top and I'll wait for them. It's like a trap. You set a trap, you wait, and then you launch, and that's my favorite thing to do. And you can get some badges in Tetris 99 pretty early on that way. Hoarding the iTetramino as much as I possibly can, because if something gets thrown at me, I want to be prepared. And then combos. There's a little bit of blend of everything, and then just gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
fast.
Gotta go fast.
This panel is not sponsored by Sonic.
At all. At all.
I was with
master.
you last year as far as like not knowing how to do T-spins at all. And I've been playing Tetris since I've been playing Tetris for 35 years. So learning the T-spin was like, I just learned this last year. I was 34 years old.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I've completed everything except for the whole loop-de-loop as far as the T-spin.
Yeah.
Wait, what was
I
that?
can't
What was
do
that again?
The
Like,
loop-de-loop.
like they set it up like, whoop, whoop, and then, like they bring the T-spin, it's like T, 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 all the way down to the bottom. I
Yeah.
can't do
It's a
that.
very technical term.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna learn how to do that. I can teach you how to T-spin.
Teach us. We're the ones
Yeah,
that have
we
to
need the
win.
help.
No,
Teach us.
Oh, I can teach you how to T-spin.
Okay.
Dang.
All right.
There you go.
We need a
Scared of
1v1 after this.
competition,
We
I
gotta
see.
do it. We gotta do it.
You do like a T-spin class like right here.
Yeah. T-spin workshop. Ready to go.
101.
So that's PAX West's panel then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next PAX.
I
T-spin
like
workshop.
it.
So one thing that's my favorite thing in the world is Tetris memes. And this one is my favorite.
He spit places. Boom, Tetris for Jeff. 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 Boom, 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 Tetris for Jeff. Boom, Tetris for Jeff. Boom, Tetris for Jeff. Boom, Tetris for Jeff. Boom, Tetris for
And it's like the
My name's
John
Jeff.
Madden of like Tetris. Boom.
Boom. Boom, Tetris for Jeff. It will never be out of my head. Boom, Tetris. And that clip is from technically I would call it Tetris Esports. It's classic Tetris World Championships, and it gets very, very competitive, and it's really taken off, and it's kind of like put the idea out there again. It's like Tetris as a potential esport, like a big esport, and so I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that, because boom, Tetris for Jeff.
Boom, Tetris for Jeff.
Well, Big Cheese got to lead off. on
Yeah, I was about
Yeah.
to say, we literally have an expert right here.
Yeah. Tetris is definitely an esport. It's like, no matter if it's 1v1 or anything like that, it's competitive, and the best go head to head. Just like when you, like you're a Street Fighter, just like NBA 2K, Call of Duty, any game like that. This game here is not potential esport. It is esport. It's a part of esports. And it made one of the biggest impacts last year, because if nobody has recognized a kid defeated a champion, a legendary champion,
Yeah.
now that scares me. Because, and well, off topic, just like a kid beat a champion in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this lets you know how much of an impact these games have.
Still,
And
yeah.
anything that makes an impact, anything that's competitive, anything that will have others join in, train, and try to be the best, like no one ever was, but if they have the potential and the time to do all that, and it's competitive, it's an esport.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think it's already on that path to kind of getting to be a official, highly sponsored, like really watched esport. And I think Tetris 99 is the first step of that, but I would love to see it, like you said, like Street Fighter. Like I'm big into the FGC community. I'd love to see like a 1v1 like this.
FGC.
Yeah, you know. But I'd like to see something like this become more popular, more common, and maybe one day we'll see Big Cheese on this big screen.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Absolutely.
With his fancy T-spins.
Yeah.
I might come in 45th,
That he
but I'll
won't
be
share.
fine.
You got this, man. You got this.
I made a statement. I made a movement for myself, and that's what everybody plans to do when they jump into the Tetris World Championships. And if Tetris 99 becomes like, an actual esport where it's like currently competitive and it goes to like the top 2 or top 4 characters, then yes, you will see the passion behind it. You will see like stories read all over the world, ESPN and IGN, etc. So when you see like the passion behind when they play the other games, it's the same with Tetris. And these are people that have been playing for years, and then you have some newcomers that can just naturally catch it, because it's like, oh, just putting lines together. How hard is this?
Yeah.
So it's going to be something beautiful when it does blossom. But last year, it just got, the seed was planted. This year, you will see it blossom.
Well, like that's the thing. Like our parent company is Rec Global, which is a huge name in the esports community, and it's really been interesting. In the last year, I've learned more about esports than I ever thought I would, and learned that there's a lot more nuance that a lot of people don't really realize. And you hit the nail on the head with, a big factor in esports. There's a lot of games that are trying to break into the esports market, but the thing that they don't have is the longevity. In 2 years, are people still going to care? As like Rainbow Six has one of the most passionate esports communities. Dota, you have League of Legends, you have even Overwatch, which
That's his own league
has,
in that case.
and it has a dwindling player base, yet the competitive community is stronger than ever. And I think with the Tetris, it has no barrier point of entry. You can be 7 years old and kick butt, or you can be 60 years old and just slaughter. And it's something that everybody can relate to. Like Tetris really does bond people. It doesn't matter if you're a hardcore gamer or a filthy casual.
Sponsored.
Filthy casual. It's everybody can enjoy it, whether it's a spectator or as somebody that wants to participate. And Tetris is actually used in a lot of educational systems as well.
Yep.
So it's also a cool potential if it can grow the way it should grow and it deserves to grow. It could also be a great sponsorship opportunity as well for people in middle school and high school, and that's their goal, to make it into the esports and still get their education as well.
Well, that's like the beautiful thing about Tetris is that like it really does attract like so many people from so many different backgrounds, like no matter what your skill level is. I mean, we were just talking about like just like a couple of moms here, who are just like hardcore Tetris, and like that's like their jam. I mean, like Tetris just has like that effect, and it had that effect like from the very beginning, like with at least with with like the Game Boy Tetris anyway, when that became like a phenomenon, and like even seeing like there's like an iconic picture I know of Hillary Clinton playing Tetris on the Game Boy on a plane. It's like you never imagine like you would ever see that, but like that's just the kind of like effect it had. And as far as like Tetris like itself being like an esport, I mean, like I think it's already there, especially with the Nintendo World Championships, and when there was when there was that big story with like the young kid taking down like the big champion. I feel sorry like not remembering the names, but like I remember that was a huge story. Like I remember I think seeing it covered like on ESPN and like other sources like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really big deal. I mean, especially when you're talking about, I believe he was 16 at the time. My memory is
I think you're right.
gone.
Yeah.
Winning NES Tetris against like the champion, the consistent every single year champion, so that when Joseph beat Jonas, that was a big thing, and he's won ever since. Like this image it was from last year, and he won again against an older professional player, and that's crazy. That's so awesome to see people, newcomers into Tetris, becoming incredibly like the best at Tetris. And so I think that's part of why it's got such good potential, is that it's been 35 years, 36 in June, since Tetris was created, and it's still really popular, and it's popular in a competitive sense still.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that like with Tetris 99 being a thing, it brings a game that's already very appealing to many people because it's low barrier to entry and high level of mastery. But Tetris 99 introduces people to maybe they don't have any sort of impact with competitive gaming, and Tetris 99 is very easy to be like, oh, this can be played competitively. Like this is how you play it, these specific ways and with these high level strategies. And I think Tetris 99 is going to be a thing that continues to grow the lower audience and show people that this can be something I want to play and I can do it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I love, and just random moment, like not so much the esports angle, but I just love the fact that Tetris Effect and Tetris 99 released so close to each other because they couldn't be farther apart.
That's
It's
true.
like the antithesis to
Yeah.
each other. You have the single player zone in, and then you have the I'm gonna eat your soul competitive experience.
What's
with
your
Tetris
flavor of
99.
Tetris?
Yeah, right? Like, I clearly am a competitive person, not a good competitive person, but I am a competitive person,
So
but
Tetris 99 would be kind of like the spicy chili
Yeah.
side of it, yeah.
Extra
when you're feeling a
spicy
little
Tetris.
spicy.
Extra spicy.
For sure.
Oh man, speaking of Tetris Effect, I don't know what's next. Oh, it is Tetris Effect. Hey, I made this.
Yeah,
I made this
unintentional.
slide. I don't know what's on it. It's a surprise.
Like, look how beautiful that is. Like,
It's a beautiful game.
I think I don't know about you guys, but like for me, anxiety is a thing, and this is very like soothing to me. I don't. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like that's a great tool. If you have anxiety or if you're in a social situation you might feel uncomfortable in, like you can lose yourself in this experience that's designed to be soothing and designed to be all about you.
That's a very, yeah, it's a
pretty
very
dope.
good point because Tetris is used in certain situations to help with like anxiety and PTSD. I think a lot of that has to do with something like the Tetris effect, where if you play Tetris for long enough and you're laying in bed, you'll keep playing Tetris in your head. That's not happened to me ever, no. Never.
No, it definitely doesn't sound like you're talking from experience or anything.
But have you guys ever experienced something similar to that, or do you use Tetris as a way to like relax or help with anxiety? Like, has that ever been something that's been a go-to for Tetris for you guys?
I mean, I know for me, like Tetris has always been more of like, I guess, kind of like a chill out kind of game. I guess you know that was like, always the case. Like whenever again, I would go over to like my neighbor's house and playing this Tetris, and when eventually I got Tetris DX on the Game Boy Color, it was always kind of like that chill out game. But as I would kind of play it more and more, I would always like just try to like beat like my high score. So it was always kind of like a competitive thing, but more for myself. I didn't play too much Tetris like against other people. Until Tetris 99 kind of came around, and it was just like, ooh, rude awakening.
You learn ugly
This is
things
a
about
thing
yourself,
now.
like, oh, am I like?
I didn't know this about myself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, like it's just really cool. Like again, like how many ways you can play Tetris and like approach it, and it's like very effective no matter like whether you are looking for that super competitive streak of it, or if you just if you do just want to like chill out and like in bed play some Tetris and dream about the pieces falling on your head.
Because there's like marathon mode too. You don't have to be competitive at all. You can play at your own speed. You can like learn things, and there's no pressure because it's like if you mess up, you just start over again.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I play. I'm a very casual Tetris player. Like I really look deep into the history, and I love, the whole history that it's had on the industry and the impact that it's had on everything that we've gotten this far in the past almost 4 decades. But for me, like when I do play Tetris, it's something like Tetris Effect when with like VR, and it's especially that first song is so calming. Like if I could just put that on every single night before bed, I would just fall asleep right
A
away.
Spotify playlist for that
Oh
one.
yeah. Put that on Spotify, please. Tetris, come on.
I don't know what this says about me, but I think Tetris 99 is really relaxing, and I'll play that in bed. And
Madman.
yeah,
I'm suspicious about that.
it feels
Drove a
good to
little bit.
KO someone at midnight.
I feel like you're more renegade than I am. If that's like,
I Mass Effect. I always play Paragon. Always.
He needs the adrenaline to go to bed.
what about you, Big Cheese? What you think about Tetris?
I feel like you must only live in Tetris. Like you must only see Tetris blocks all day, every day.
I'm seeing them now.
How do they look?
Off in the horizon.
Describe them to me.
I live in Tetrisville, so I am the pessimist of Tetramino. So overall, when it comes to Tetris Effect, like I told you earlier, this game here is a soothing. It's like basically, you go to one of those places like, lay yourself down and we're gonna put some nice music and you enjoy yourself. You just lay there, you be like, it's a great game. And what I found when I experienced the game the first time, when you spin the Tetris piece, it makes a musical sound. So it'd be like, do. So my silly self, I got the controller in my hand spinning, right? I'm like, okay, I'm finna do a dance of this. Because it makes musical sounds, but when you progress in the game, then the music comes in as well. So when you got the music coming in and the Tetris piece is spinning, it all blends in, and it's like When I tell you, like, it's kind of like better than getting a massage.
It's hypnotic. It really is. Like,
Tetris is basically jazz the video game.
it really, and it's like, I don't know, this is kind of nerdy, sorry. I really
Nerdy,
like.
nerdy panel, yeah.
Right,
good
right.
company. It's
Morgan
all
got
good.
me into like ASMR video games, like streamers that stream really relaxing games and then have like an additional ASMR component. And yeah, and like that's the same thing. It's like, I didn't hear it. What'd you say? Was shots fired?
No comment.
Shots fired.
We can go back to the VOD.
Yeah.
That's how Tetris Splash is actually. That game is ASMR. Like
Yeah,
every time
it's-
you clear it, she goes.
Isn't that the one where it has like the really sitting?
I love it. Like I don't know. It's cool, and it's one of the few VR games that doesn't make me sick.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't make me violently affect anything. The
Yeah.
2 times I played like big VR titles, it was demoing Resident Evil VR, and I broke the TV because I punched, and then Capcom politely asked me to leave, and then, sorry Capcom, and then we were playing this, I forgot what it was called, but it was like a shooting game, and you can throw a grenade, and our ceilings are really low in our house, and then I went like this, and then I just heard, and then I got like plaster raining down, I was like,
man.
oh, my bad.
You won't have those problems.
But I don't
Tetris
have those
effect,
problems, because
no.
I'm just like I'm laying back, and just like,
The zone.
yes.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
that's amazing. I wonder, like, with like the advent of VR, like how much property damage has gone up.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry to all VR companies, my bad.
My bad.
Take.
Somebody moving to the house when she leaves, like, well, we're going to take off rent because this is not going away.
I'm not safe. Don't ever invite me to your homes to play VR. You will regret it.
It's a fair warning.
Unless it's
Instantly.
Tetris.
Unless it's Tetris, then you'll probably also regret it because I won't leave because I'll be so relaxed.
Which won't leave. What else do I have in here? It's a surprise. Oh, I know this one.
Oh my God, this video cracks me up every time I see this. It makes me wish I had a suit like that because that's amazing.
So good. See, this is how Big Cheese is seeing all of you right now.
Real Tetris.
Who's the block?
This is a fun subject. Oh man.
Come hold that.
So Tetris is actually very good for teaching you how to put things away, I have learned. There's a lot of ways to use like Tetris skills in real life, and I think that that's wonderful. I don't know there's a lot of games that help in the way that Tetris helps, because every time I'm like packing the car, Tetris. Every time I'm packing groceries, Tetris. And it's like, I can fit all this stuff in here, Tetris. So I wanted to know if you guys have ever used any of your Tetris skills in real life, and how?
Yes, I KO a lot of people in real life. A lot.
Yeah, 100%.
Nice.
Just T-spins every day. All day,
I
every
can't
day.
T-spin either. I need you to help me. I need-
I know for me, suitcase, putting like suitcase together is definitely in that. Like, and I always think of Tetris whenever I put like a suitcase together, and like just figuring out like what fits into what, and especially when it's like more than just clothes, and just figuring out like.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
How does that
exactly.
work?
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Cons and bringing like action figures and stuff
Yeah.
that you buy, and
Right.
it's like, crap.
action figures, or say if you have like a poster, so you have like long tubes, you have to figure out like how that fits. Like, all right, I know
Yeah.
it can pretty much only come here. Now everything else has to be like packed around it. Like, so you literally petrify basically the whole thing in a way.
Yeah.
I'm not good at packing. I've never been good at packing. Even now,
Play more Tetris.
I do, and it like almost confuses me even more because I think, again, I don't strategize. Pen back, and it always ends up horrible. But what it does do is it was really good. Like when I was younger, I had a really hard time like focusing, and it helped me learn how to focus. And I feel like now I'm really good at planning for anything that goes wrong because I have like 20 contingency plans. So I guess that's strategy.
There you go.
I sell myself short. Come on.
Strategery in there.
Good job, Leanna. But yeah, like it's better at, I notice like in real life situations, if I'm, especially if I'm going into an unknown, like, okay, so I'm going into here, here's my starting move. And I could definitely attribute that to Tetris. I mean, that was like the game, that and Contra like shaped my childhood, which should
Yeah.
explain a lot. And yeah, I think that's how it impacts me the most.
I mean, definitely packing is like the go-to, but I'm kind of known for not being the most organized person.
What?
Sometimes
No,
I know, right?
not you,
Yeah, I know.
Chris.
But like whenever I go to a convention, I'm fortunate enough to go to a lot of these PAXs, and it's a blast. But like on the way there, I like to feel like I'm prepared. So I definitely pack very neatly. But on the way back, it's more like Katamari, where I'm like rolling up all my clothes and just like shoving it into my suitcase.
That's a good callback, yeah.
Yeah.
What Tetris move is that? Rolling things in the wall?
Yeah, that's called laziness.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Cable management.
Yeah.
It helps with cable management a lot. Because, you know, having two PCs, PS4, Xbox, Switch, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, I have cables everywhere. Well, around that, had. But Tetris teaches me, you know, how to handle cable management, how to move furniture. When I help my friends move, it's like, okay, how I'm going to put this couch and love seat on the back of this truck. Okay, so we're going to line this up with this, we'll line this up with that. Okay, we got it on the truck, let's move. So it helps out a lot, not only with organizing things, but it's also a mental game as well. It also helps you with awareness.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think like you don't have to be aware to play this game. Oh yes, you do. Because it's like you're checking for your next pieces, and like Tetris 99 only shows you like 3 or 4 of your next pieces. Regular Tetris only shows you 1. So it's like, what am I gonna do next? So you gotta always plan ahead. So it teaches me that as well. So always plan ahead, be organized, be aware of your surroundings, and that's what I learned from Tetris.
And Morgan, when you mentioned about like about packing like a car as well, which I imagine you did to get to get yourself over here as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking of there was like that scene from like The Simpsons as well, when like Homer's literally like
Literally
packing like family in
things
the car.
Tetris. Yeah, there's a lot of references like that of Tetris. I think commercials have used it as well, like for cars to pack, like, see how much stuff you can fit in the trunk of this car.
do, yeah.
Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah, I use Tetris a lot for organization. Like at any point, and like the theme song always comes in my head. And it's like cleaning my house. It's like half Tetris and then half Marie Kondo of like, do I need to keep this?
Yes,
And like, does
it
it
all
fit?
brings you joy.
Does it fit?
Yeah.
And
You're
does
actually
Tetris
clearing
fit?
lines in your own house.
Clearing the lines,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dedicated to the role.
Unfortunately, when you Tetris something like a suitcase, nothing disappears, which is always very nice. You can keep your stuff.
Like it.
You ever try putting food in the freezer and you don't have the room for it? You think you got room for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gift that.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Thank you.
No
I just want
deep
to say
freezer.
thank you for saying GIF and not GIF.
Absolutely. Well,
Yes.
that's the way you say it. I don't care what the
appreciate you.
original creator
I
like,
appreciate
pronounces
you.
it. Like it is GIF as far as I'm
It's GIF.
concerned.
I appreciate you. That's totally off topic. My bad.
It's related. It's related. Let's see. Let's hear from Papa Tetris.
The game is simple.
Papa Tetris.
You don't need to be hardcore player to start and keep going with it. So, and this is important. That's why, and people feel it and don't scare to try. The other one is that it's kind of peaceful game with the abstract content.
Thank you,
He is
Alexi.
so wholesome.
He is the nicest human being you'll ever meet. Absolutely. So I'm so curious about like how games like Tetris remain so popular after such a long period of time, and they have these like, like it's like NES Tetris, and then they keep like topping themselves over and over again. Like Game Boy Tetris is really popular now. We got Tetris 99 now. So I'm just kind of curious why you guys think that Tetris has remained one of the most popular games so consistently for 35 years.
Susan.
It's in
For
the
me,
name
I
of the
think
game.
it's Tetris is the king of gameplay is key. And it's literally, the gameplay has not evolved that much over the years. Like they've tried weird things, they've tried putting hats on them, they've tried putting bombs in them. And it's really, it always comes back to like, I mean, Tetris Effect is just Tetris, but pretty. And he really struck gold at the start where his gameplay design was so perfect that almost 4 decades later, it's pretty much the same thing, and it's more popular than ever.
It's simple, but with a purpose.
Yes,
And that
it's simple,
translates
accessible.
through time. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think in the way that like Half-Life revolutionized shooting, obviously Tetris came way sooner. But Tetris, it was simple, it was designed, but it's, like you said, it's not afraid to evolve, but at the same time, it respects its source material. Like, yes, it wants to evolve, but it's not trying too hard to fit into a modern box, but it's like, you can't even recognize it. Like, you slap the Tetris logo on it, and you're like, okay, it's Tetris.
It's
and then
unapologetically what it is.
it is what it is, and people know, and it is timeless. And because of the structure, because of the building aspects, because of the competitive, because it started competitive, like, you know, in the 90s, there was you know, it was localized, but it was a competitive scene. And like, I think that's really cool, because that is also, you know, as a game developer, you know, that is, you know, you structure, and again, making that singular purpose and identifying your brand, what you want, what you want the gameplay experience to be. I think that's really inspired most games today, which we all know. We all know Tetris is the, you know, the father of gaming, and but it's that rule of knowing what you are and not being afraid to evolve without changing. And I think that's rare, and that's why it stands the test of time.
Thankfully, we haven't seen like a third-person Tetramino shooter yet. But,
I mean,
maybe open to it.
it's
yes.
2020. Weirder stuff has happened already.
I mean, it's like we said before, there's that low barrier of entry to Tetris, and because the general formula of those games haven't really changed too much. Like, there's always going to be like these different, like, kind of like unique, kind of like, you know, T-spins, if you will, to like the formula. But otherwise, like, the way that you play Tetris has essentially always remained the same, and so that's always. I feel like this is kind of like one of those like timeless things. Like, it's almost like, you know, whenever you play like a 2D Mario game, for example, they feel a certain way, and you know how it feels. And Nintendo knows that, so that's why they keep doing it. The Tetris company in this case knows how, you know, what people want in Tetris. And, you know, they keep with that formula while also presenting something different, you know, it's just like with Tetris Effect and Tetris 99.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Plus, it's got bangers. Like, get that song out of your head. Like, you can't.
I hate
can.
you.
Oh, sorry. But as far as Tetris, you can say that it built a legacy of its own. Like, you have Tetris, you have Pac-Man, you have Mario Brothers, you know, you have Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, it had its own legacy. It had its own feel, the walkway, you could say. And when you look at Tetris being here for 35 years and still going strong, that lets you know, like, what was built. It's simple, right? Just creating lines. It could be simple but effective. And Tetris has been around for this long because of being simple and effective. Just like Mario Bros. 2 and 3, you see changes. Tetris went through its changes, but they're always going to go back to its roots, because number one is always the best one, except for like Mario Bros. 3, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But overall, you know, Tetris itself is, you know, let's say it's the father of, you know, you can put it as far as like the godfathers or the father of gaming, because it built a legacy of its own, and it maintained the same all of these years. And when you have something like that, nobody can take that away. That's with you for life. No matter how much you put bombs in it, no matter how much you attack somebody, at the end of the day, you're still having fun and you're playing Tetris. That's a legacy that will never go away. Man, that's a teardrop moment right there.
In a moment.
That was beautiful, Big Cheese.
That was
Beautiful.
That was beautiful.
I love it. I love his everything. You know,
Yes.
we've interviewed him a couple of times, we've met him a couple of times, and he's just so genuine. I don't know. I guess I'm not that good of a person, because if I invented something as cool as Tetris, I would be like,
Yeah.
what's
Get in
up?
He's incredibly humble.
He
like,
is.
like
Yeah.
the song that we all know from Tetris. He's embarrassed that it's that popular, because we know that song because of Tetris, and he's like, this is like one of our like national anthems. Like, this is
Yeah.
this is a big part of our culture. Please don't correlate this with my video game.
Yeah. Yeah, the Tetris theme song is based off of a Russian folk
Yeah.
song, Koro, I don't know how to pronounce this, but Koro Bayaniki? That might be
That
close.
sounds right. Sure,
It might
let's
be
go with
close.
it.
I don't know. But yeah, like, he's the nicest, most genuine human being you could ever meet. And I think that that's part of why Tetris is so amazing, because when he made Tetris, he just wanted to make something that he really liked to play. You know, that's the most important thing when you're making a game. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about any of that. It's like, I want to make a really genuinely fun game that I like, and I want other people to like it too. And that's really the
I
goal
mean,
there.
it was generally just like kind of like a side diversion a little bit, like kind of like a side project that he made like along, like when he was in his, I think it was like an engineering job or something like that, right?
Yeah, I think he worked for the Soviet Academy of Sciences at the time, and he was a programmer, and he used the Tetris as like a code to test, what he was doing, but also because he liked, Tetris, and it's a mixture of like some of his favorite things like Pentaminos, and it's wonderful. It's really wonderful, and I'm glad that he did that, genuinely, because now we have Tetris.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I think some of like the best creators in the world across any type of medium or art or genre or something, like there's some parallels here with like Shigeru Miyamoto, where a lot of his games come from the things he likes to do. I like to garden, so I made Pikmin. I like to, go in the forest and do this, so that applies to Mario and Zelda and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it shows when someone really has that passion there that they're gonna make something that is loved by people.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree with you as well about the simple. Tetris is easy to understand but hard to master, I would say. And I think that that's like the core element that keeps you coming back. It's like, I know how this works, now how can I do it better? And there's like a satisfaction to it too when you're clearing lines. It's just, it plays on your own sense of like organization and wanting to like, clean things up. Like you make a mistake and you're like, well, I have to clean it up. I can't turn the game off. I have
The
to
reward
fix it.
system that's built
Yes,
into it.
it's like, yeah, reward. So I love it. I'm very addicted to it. I'm so sorry. I can't stop. After this panel, I got to play Tetris. It's got to happen. What do I have next? So I just in general, want to hear from you about your personal views on Tetris, what wisdom you want to impart about Tetris as a closing statement before we start taking audience questions, because I'm sure there's a lot of other Tetris people here that want to get their questions going. I don't know. I lost track of what I was saying.
What
anyway.
are your closing
Anyway.
statements? For sure. I guess I'll start off then. So I mean, Tetris is just like one of those like staples of gaming. I mean, like no matter who you are, no matter whether you consider yourself a hardcore gamer, a casual gamer, or not a gamer at all, Tetris has had an effect on you in some ways. I mean, we mentioned before, about like mothers playing Tetris. I knew like someone whose like grandmother would constantly steal like his Game Boy so as to play Tetris. It was the Tetris machine for the family. And the grandmother was just like, okay, like no holds bar, like I'm just gonna destroy you all. Like they're all just trying to be like the highest score, and that was basically the element, I guess, of like competitive Tetris in that case. So it is amazing. It is like one of those very few games I feel like that is in existence that just has that cross appeal like that, and it blows my mind every time I think back on Tetris and. Because I wouldn't consider myself like as much of a Tetris fan as you are, obviously.
I don't think anybody is.
But I mean, I still absolutely adore Tetris, even though like I don't play it like day in day out. But like it's always like something like where no matter what mood I might be in, no matter where I am, there is always time like where I would be in the mood to play Tetris.
Yeah. I don't know. I've worked in this industry for about 15 years, and gaming is literally my life. Like it's my job, it's my hobby, it's my everything, and. For me, like even if I personally ever stopped, which I don't honestly see that happening, especially since they keep coming up with mobile reiterations and Battle Royale reiterations, and I'm sure somehow they'll incorporate shooting eventually.
Get that third-person shooter in there.
3,000, you're 3,000, yeah, like.
What if they did a romance Tetris?
I would, if they do a
Date your
Tetris
blocks.
RPG where you can romance like
Dating sim,
I would,
yeah.
I mean, we have boyfriend dungeon. We have where you can date weapons. Of course we can date Tetris blocks. Like, don't let your dreams be dreams, kids. And yeah, I think even if it ever came to a point where it wasn't my personal play experience anymore, I think I would always have that respect. Like, that's where we came from as gamers and developers and just fans, that's our home. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say Tetris will outlive all of us. This industry is in its infancy. Like, this is a very special. People who have enjoyed books or music, any other medium, has been around long enough where like it's impossible to be around for that entire time it's been here. But we're here at the start. And I think that by the time our grandkids are here and playing games, they're going to be having, Tetris is still going to be here along with Mario and a couple others.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said at the beginning, for me, like Tetris, because it's just a great game, it's amazing, it stands the test of time, it's always going to continue to do that, like you're saying, but with that personal connection I have with my mom, who's not like a big gamer, but I am, and to have that like moment with her and something that I think about all the time, and she's at home watching this stream on Twitch right now. Like,
Hi, Mom.
that's pretty cool. Hi, Mom. I love you. Like, that's really cool to me.
My
Like,
wife.
for Tetris to be the reason why she likes me too, I think, but for Tetris to be the reason she's
One would
watching the panel. I don't know. I said I like to KO people, I guess. Maybe I'm not nice, I don't know. What about you, Big Cheese?
Just so you know, she said hi back. I have the chat open here.
Doing Mama proud. Yeah.
I'm proud.
I just want to say, no matter what is said around the world about gaming, always remember that gaming does good. Always remember that. People will try to tell you different. People will try to, like, when you were younger, what was the first thing your mama said? Go outside, do something with your life.
Get off that Nintendo.
Even when it's an Xbox,
Exactly.
get off your Nintendo.
Everything's
And speaking of moms, that's the reason why I love my mom, because she kept me inside. She was like, don't go out there in them streets. Play something, do something. And I stayed inside. I played nothing but video games. Video games is my life. Even though I'm not in the industry of video games, it's my life. I will play it every single day until the day I die. The reason why I say this is because people want to have some type of negative impact on gaming. It's impossible. When it's for therapy, when it's for, you can do for charity, you can do anything with gaming that you set your mind to, and I'm so happy to see nothing but positivity when it comes to gaming.
We're gonna clap
if you don't
for
mind.
that.
Yeah.
Let's clap for that. Like, that's awesome.
Also, you
No, but
Big Cheese, though, you said that you're not part of the industry, but you absolutely are.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to promote this PAX is that, like, this is the industry. Whether you're a fan, whether you're an esports player, whether you're a competitive player, a casual player, like, this is our industry, and, like, you are absolutely in it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm in now.
Yeah.
I'm in.
You made it. You made it.
You made it.
Big Cheese, part of the industry, boys.
My wife, I love her, No.
Love it.
But
That's- yeah.
just continue to show that greatness, everybody. Show, like, no matter what game you play, show that greatness.
Yes.
Everybody has their niche game. It may not be Tetris, it's mine, but it may not be your niche game, but just know you are great at whatever you set your mind to or whatever game you play. Continue being good because gaming does good.
Absolutely.
We love you, Big Cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. That's a perfect segue, too, for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think the great thing about Tetris is it brings everybody together, and it's a very wholesome community. And I definitely want to take the time to hear from people who have come here who love Tetris to ask questions, leave comments, anything at all. And while you queue up, I got even more
boom.
Tetris.
Finger guns.
There
Come
it
up to
is.
the microphone. Oh, yeah. I like it. And just also, while everybody's lining up, thank you for joining us and letting us nerd out about Tetris.
Hey,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're doing the
Tetris.
dance.
hey, Tetris.
Look at what before you go there.
Everyone's going.
As we're
like,
dancing, you gotta just stop right there. You gotta be like, guys,
I'm out.
bring it down.
It's gotten out of control.
Got it out of
Enough of
control.
that. Enough of that. Hello. Hi.
A little unfair after you played that, but song 1, 2, or 3?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I would say Theme A is my favorite.
It's always Theme A,
Theme
Gotta be Theme A. I'm so sorry.
every time.
It has to be.
Thank you for your question.
Thank
though.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love 3 too.
Yes.
If Commander Shepard was a Tetramino, which one would they be?
Yes. I love it.
Asking all the important questions.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Thank you.
Any way to incorporate Mass Effect, I appreciate you.
Let's see.
You touched on just how good the core gameplay of the original Tetris was. What are your thoughts on the kind of limited success of the move to 3D for some of the games, such as like on the Virtual Boy or on the N64? Do you think it just won't work in 3D, or we just, maybe he hasn't figured out like a way to translate it to 3D so it's, I don't know, has a
mean,
feel?
That's a really
So-
good question.
Who got this? You got this?
Oh, I think it definitely has a chance. I think that's probably going to be happening soon. I think Tetris is clearly in the mindset right now where they're trying all these new things, and I think that's probably going to be like the next evolution of it. But I know people weren't that big on it, but I thought the one on N64 was pretty cool.
The sphere one?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sphere.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's up.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know there.
There's like
I'm
two
sorry.
different rows. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
Hi, we're so sorry. Hi.
So one of the coolest Tetrises I've ever played is Tetris Giant. It
Yes.
was one, that arcade, like it's from Japan. It's like
forget
a
that
giant.
one?
Yeah. So I just thought that had to be mentioned because it's
Yes.
amazing, and just want to know if you've played it and any thoughts.
Yes. I can't. I'm like genuinely upset that none of us picked that up.
You're the real MVP.
I was kind of upset about that too because that's clearly like one of the coolest, most unique Tetris experiences ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, spot on.
I have to look that up.
Thank you.
Okay, so
I'll play that now.
my question is, have you guys ever come across any game in that categorically might, in the same category as Tetris that you might consider a challenger?
That's a good question.
Well,
Or, and how close?
Question.
What's the name of that game on the Sega Genesis with the jewel?
Breakout, I think is what you said.
Yeah, it's Columns.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Columns. You had the Dr.
Columns.
Robotnik. It's similar to Puyo.
Oh, Mean Bean Machine.
Yeah, it's me.
Where are my Clax fans at? Any Clax fans? Does anyone even know what Clax is?
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Back for facts.
Clap for claps.
How close?
Now, Puyo, I'm gonna tell you right now, that game right there, I need to practice in. I love that game, but why is it that I can't get 4 things to connect? But
Yeah,
it's
I'm terrible
it's
at
like
that game.
Struggle is real.
I would
Close?
agree that Puyo
Is it
Puyo is
close?
probably the closest. Yeah.
I think that's close.
Yeah.
I think Puyo is. I mean, I think that's why they interchange so nicely too.
Yeah.
Why we've had so many crossovers because they are so similar.
Yeah.
And it targets that same what people love.
They fit together like pieces. Yeah.
I see what you did there, and I appreciate you.
I want to shout out Lumines too. I think Lumines is another really great puzzle
Yeah.
game.
That's a good call.
yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. What's going on?
Hey panel, I know you guys talked a little bit about Puyo Puyo, but my question would be if you've ever played Tetris Battle Gaiden on the Super Famicom, and if you haven't, the idea being is there's in the Puyo where you have characters with abilities and you're going head to head, so what's your opinion on if you played that or when you're playing Tetris against someone to have characters with abilities that you build up? Do you like that spin on the Tetris
Yes.
franchise and abilities? Thank you.
yes.
I love you because I'm a huge Gaiden fan. Like I personally love it. I'm a huge like RPG fan. I'm a huge story narrative fan, character. I love designing characters. I love everything about it. So adding that element into it, I think is awesome.
Yeah.
And it gives it another layer that again, like we talked about earlier, evolving, not changing.
Yes.
Is it keeps it still in line with the Tetris brand, but it expands it to cover an entire different market of gamers, like those that
Absolutely.
really love becoming the characters and adding that another layer of strategy too with the abilities and the different skill sets, like 100%.
Yes.
Huge stan for that game.
In 2007, the L Block won GameFAQ's best video game character of all time. Do you think anybody has come along in the last 13 years that could dethrone him or her?
No.
No.
I don't know anyone's like more well developed than the L block.
It's the only instance where you can say I took the L and it's a good thing.
Exactly. No one can give the L an L.
Hey.
Top that. That's mad props for that.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
If you could be any Tetris piece, which Tetris piece would you be and why? And if you could maybe go in order, a little speed round, if everybody could answer.
T-spin because I'm more impactful when it's triple.
Ooh.
What's the most useless piece? The block?
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, what's
The
the one
Z.
everybody hates?
The block.
That's me.
Yeah.
I think I'm a block. I just sit at home and eat food and relax.
Good old blocky.
Good old
I'm a block. I'm here, but I don't really do much.
That's so many blockheads on this panel.
Yeah. We're not helpful contributions to society.
Bunch of squares.
I'll be there in these.
What are you?
I'm the one that puts
The
the
slim
arm
one?
around everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
think
to give
I'm-
hugs.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like I think I'm the T-shaped one, honestly, just because I do feel like I kind of like fit into like all sorts of different situations depending on what's needed, pretty much. So yeah, I won't be as self-deprecating, I guess.
I would agree with that, though.
That's like an
You are-
interview
you're very
question.
adaptive.
I'm gonna start asking on any interviews I ever have.
I'm surprised no one said the I Tetramino. I will just go I Tetramino. You know, I'm never around when you need me. I'm so sorry. I'm not.
That makes you the closer.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Hi, my name is Brookie.
Hi.
Hello.
Big Cheese, I just wanted to ask, may I get a picture with you later? Because I love your energy and I love your spirit. And I think I know you from somewhere. So I just want to take this picture now.
You think
like
you know.
later on.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about wholesome? That's the
That was
request
wholesome.
right
That
there.
was
It's beautiful.
adorable. Yeah, absolutely.
I will say this. First, yes. Second, if you want to see me play Tetris 99, I am streaming at 4 o'clock.
Hey.
There
Right
you
over
go.
there. at the
Plug,
stream
plug,
block.
plug, 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 plug.
So we can take a picture now. But later, come see me.
Wait, where are you going to be?
The streaming pods over there, right? In the entrance area, there's 3 streaming pods. I'll be in one of them.
After the panel, come connect with us.
Yeah.
We'll have your people talk to our people.
We'll get it. Of course.
So after seeing everything you guys are wearing, I realize I'm in need of some Tetris merch. Where do you guys recommend getting Tetris prints, shirts, outfits?
This is your person, Morgan.
Are we doing this right now?
He knows.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Hey, they have the Tetris.
Puma. It's
Yeah.
not a
You
Puma.
can get those from Puma.
Shout out
Those
to
are
Puma.
Tetris Pumas. Yeah.
I got the
Tetris socks.
Okay.
Those are from Sockatumi.
Yeah.
If you
Tetris
guys
socks.
like the
Yes.
Tetris Instagram and Tetris Twitter, they are
We are
constantly
all about
sharing
That's a good call,
merch.
yeah.
They are
all about
all
merch.
about.
Still smell fresh.
Yes.
There you go.
As somebody up here, I can confirm that is not true.
Is this a Puma sponsored stream here? Or?
If you want the suit, it's from Oppo Suits. Like, there's a lot of different places you can go. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
all right.
Lot of
We have
places.
time for one more question,
Yes.
really quick.
Yeah.
One more.
One more
Okay,
quick
Sorry,
question.
guys.
Last one.
I don't have a question, but I wanted to leave you with a quote. So Tetris is like a metaphor for life. Your successes vanish instantly, but your mistakes stay with you forever until you correct them.
I love that.
That was beautiful.
That's the
Thank you.
best way to
Thank
close
you
this
for
out, I
that.
think.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you guys so much for
Thank
coming.
you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We were great. Thank you guys. Have a great night.